Matt, thank you. We want to go back out to the West Campus of Texas Children's Hospital, where Houston police are preparing to hold a press conference to update us on the situation there. We understand 2 people are at least dead. Let's listen in.
Okay. You ready? Hey, hello everyone. My name is Ban Tien. Last name spelled T-I-E-N, Assistant Chief with the Houston Police Department. Behind me, I have Harris County Precinct 3 Chief Chief Bonzo, and a Commander Wynn from Northwest Patrol Division, and 2 weekend command team with Lieutenant LeBlanc and Lieutenant Batscombe. What we have today is a tragedy. Before I begin, I just want to ask the whole city to pray for the deceased victims. It's truly a tragedy. You know, it's difficult. A loss of life is always it's hard. It's actually a lot more difficult during the holidays. I can only imagine what the families are going through right now. But this is what we have. At approximately 2:08 p.m. today, our officers received multiple calls at this location, which is behind me at the 18,200 block of Katy Freeway, which is the Texas Children's Hospital. One of the calls involving a shooting just occurred. Upon our officers' arrival, what they first found is 1 deceased female with apparent gunshot wounds. And the second deceased is a male with what appears to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. At the same time, they also find a child at the scene. The child is not hurt and she is not injured right now. So this is what we have. Now I do want to emphasize, this is a preliminary investigation. Of course, you know, anything else, you know, it's preliminary and things can change. Our homicide investigators currently on scene investigating, along with our forensic science team collecting evidence right now, right? So I do want to reiterate this is preliminary. I'm pretty sure you guys are gonna have a lot of questions, but which I'll try my best to answer them. So upon our officer arrival, what we discovered at the time was the fact that what appears to be a murder-suicide. It appeared that the female who was the driver and the male who was the passenger driving a vehicle with a kid in the back seat came to the hospital together. It is also believed that they were here to seek medical attention at the Texas Children's Hospital for an unrelated medical reason for the child. Upon arrival, it appears that the male shot at the female, which she was pronounced deceased at the scene. At the same time, the male also appears to be shooting himself, which is self-inflicted. Again, and I want to mention that the child was not injured. The investigation is still pretty complex. It's a lot going on, but I want to remind everyone that the scene was contained at the parking lot of the Texas Children's Hospital. And the scene does not lead to inside the hospital because it's contained and isolated within the parking lot, and it is an isolated incident. The operation of the hospital is not impacted. You know, they're still fully operational, and they can still receive patients, you know, as we speak, right? So with that said, I would like to open the floor for any questions.
How old was the child?
The child, it is believed to be approximately 8 years of age, female.
A girl? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Where was the child during the shooting? Was she near?
During the shooting, she was actually believed to be inside the vehicle. As you know, there's still a lot of surveillance video. Our detectives currently investigating right now. They have to go through all the videos, right?
It was mom and dad that were.
So at this time, as I mentioned, so the female and the male, it appears to be some sort of relationship. We just cannot determine at this time what the relationships are, but there are some sort of relationship between them.
How many shots were fired?
All I can say is multiple shots, and you know, it's such a tragedy, and we are extremely fortunate in a way too. As you can imagine, you know, the parking lot of the hospital is pretty crowded, right? But as I say again, the scene is contained and isolated within the parking lot itself.
After shooting, the person he's in a relationship, does he go anywhere?
No, he remained in the vehicle, and he has, you know, what appeared to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and he was still in the passenger seat of the vehicle.
You mentioned relationship. Is it safe to call it a possible domestic violence situation, or?
So I don't want to speculate, and I don't want to make an assumption that potentially could come back and be untrue, right? So, you know, the assumption is there's a relationship. I just don't know the extent of the relationship.
Were either of them the parent of the child? I know you mentioned vaguely that each other had a relationship, but were either of them the mom or the dad of that kid?
So the kid's dad was the male was not the dad's kid. The kids belongs to the mom.
Okay.
from inside the vehicle, or was he outside when he shot?
That what appears to be he was shooting from inside the vehicle.
So no one ever exited the vehicle?
So from our preliminary investigation, it appeared that the female did try to get away, so exit the vehicle. That's the only person that we found to exit the vehicle. Again, the child is believed to be in the back seat, and she was unharmed.
And then at this point, do you guys know why they were coming to the hospital? You mentioned unrelated, but was the child okay once you got them out of the car?
Yeah, so you can only imagine, right? You know, this is a Texas Children's Hospital, so a safe assumption that the child is here to seek medical attention related to the kid, right? So an unrelated deal. So yes, she is currently getting, looked after by the physicians, and she's okay right now. And I just want to remind everyone, as I'm gonna say this again, any loss of life is always a huge tragedy. When it gets close to the weekend, and the holidays, it's definitely not easier, right? I can only imagine, the two deceased families, are impacted. And I can only imagine what a kid is going through, right? But our victim services is going to get called out to, to check on the kid. And as you know, it's going to be a long road ahead, so keep them in our prayers. Most importantly, I know we are going through some tough times, but I just want to let everyone know, like you speculate earlier, right? May potentially be some relationship, something I don't know. And there'll be some point where I truly won't know, right? Because I can't, speculate what the mindset is at the time. But I will say this, there are a lot of resources out there to help folks out there. So please, please, please take advantage of those resources. So guys, thank you for your time.